The wait's finally over as Playmore has made it to the championship in its 4th season. This is the most exciting battle we have ever commentated for, and the opponent on the other side is no slouch. We are taking on the Seattle Samurotts, coached by Glass Shadows. And Tyler, I heard a rumor that their record really doesn't tell the whole story, does it?
It doesn't, which is crazy to say because this is a team that was already the 2nd overall seed in the playoffs. But if you look at the matches that they actually played in this year, they won every single one of them. The only losses came from matches where the coach Glass Shadows just said because of time reasons that he didn't want to waste the opponent's time and have to push things back. For one reason or another, wasn't able to have the battle. So in terms of the matches actually competed in, this is an unbeaten team, John, and when you look at the team that they bring to the table, it's very easy to see why.
Absolutely, there are some of the biggest threats in Draft League here. Multiple Pokemon that we've had on our teams in the past, but I'm looking at 3 Pokemon in particular. Dragapult, one of the scarier Pokemon in Draft. Ogerpon, their regular season MVP, and then Bisharp, their playoff MVP. I expect to see all 3 of them. There's a lot of other threats they can put around them, so we have our work cut out for us, but I trust the Mineral to cook up something special to take on this team. What's he got cooking, Tyler?
Well, for a match this big, you need 2 things in particular. You need to play more fans, and of course you need Bubby. Ben's got the mainstays, the staples on the team as well. But if you want to know why he's got this group cooked up in particular, you can watch the extended team builder. It is linked in the description below as always. But for now, let's see what the opponent is bringing to this championship match.
The final battle of the season is finally here. Let's see what the opponent brought. I have a pretty good idea of at least 3 of these Pokemon. And I see all 3 of them, along with an evil turtle, a witch that we once employed, and then a washing machine. An interesting final trio, but it doesn't matter as we're leading off with the Play More fans. I can't think of something more fitting than that. Thank you guys so much for all of the support this season. Now it's on you guys. Good luck.
Like John said, the start of the battle is on you guys, but that doesn't mean we know who the start of the battle is on for the other side. And that's a Pokemon, John, that I have learned from, again, my library of Wolfie VGC knowledge is maybe, based off the appearance you wouldn't think much of. That is one of the better competitive Water-type Pokemon and most used competitive Water-type Pokemon of all time.
Yeah, I've known that for some time. This is a Pokemon from the beginning that has been a nuisance, but our coach did say that we may be able to OHKO this with a Terra population bomb. Now, there is a lot of worry of this thing spreading status, but if we can get this population bomb off, Tyler, we could start this battle with a kill from the Play More fans themselves. This is as exciting as it gets. The only thing that can really stop us here is a Will-O-Wisp from a Choice Scarf Rotom or a Thunder Wave. And that is exactly what we see. But as long as we break through, Tyler, as long as we break through, well, the wind has left my sails. That is,
I mentioned the Wildlands because, population bomb, it's not like your normal moves where maybe, it can hit 3, 4, 5 times. So you want some loaded dice to affect it. No, it's all based on the accuracy. We have the Wildlands, boost the accuracy, make sure it does as much damage as possible. If it hits 9 or 10 times, we might even, get a kill there.
It's time to move past it.
Not the luckiest start, but that's what we're known for. That's what we do here. We've never let it stop us before.
Well, we absolutely have let us stop it before, and most battles we've lost, we've let it stop. So we're going to move past that. And this is where things actually get really, really worrying. This is a very, very obvious switch into Dragapult. Not obvious that he should have predicted it. Obvious once we saw the switch. We get paralyzed. Doesn't matter either way. And this is actually really, really bad. Not because we weren't able to kill the Rotom Wash. More that we are on the back foot. And it's putting us in a really precarious situation. I would not be surprised to see a U-turn from the Dragapult as they predict the obvious switch there. Ben needed to make the switch. This is the switch into Dragapult every single time. And now the opponent has a chance to bring in something to deal a lot of damage. So this next turn, Tyler, I think is going to be one of the most important turns of the battle to make sure we can reclaim just a little bit of momentum, or at least prevent the opponent from setting up and just blasting a hole through the team.
Well, it's a much different start than we've seen to the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, where Ben has had it basically go right to the script and been in control from the beginning. So we're going to see for the first time so far in this postseason how Ben navigates this spot where it's certainly not been an ideal start to the battle at all, but still certainly ways to move around and navigate this to find that one move, whether it's the right switch, the right move at the right time, whatever that one turn is to push things back into our favor.
And this is a Pokemon that Ben was a little worried about. You know, there's a lot of different sets that this thing could have that could really affect the battle. This is where we find out. And it looks like he's leaning Blossom. It's a pretty safe thing to switch in. I think the biggest worry is Nuzzle. And if we do see that, the Healing Wish on Clefable is going to be very, very important long term. But thankfully, Blossom is very hard to take down. We do see the Nuzzle, unfortunately. Yes. This thing, while slowed, very hard to take down. There's nothing that Medusa's going to be able to do to it unless I am really missing something here. This is the freest Heavy Slam of our life.
If we break through and
well, we won't do that. We're still going to click the move, though.
Well, but I will say here, I think this is a lot different from the first turn Para, because Ben told us straight up, like, we are very prepared for Blossom to have to break through Para after Para. We're fully anticipating that to be the case. There was also a chance that this thing would set up Reflect and probably do it with that Light Clay to have it sit there for 8 turns and not 5.
This is actually really interesting, seeing our coach looking for a switch here. You know, the Reflect is already up. I'm very interested of why our coach is looking at a potential switch.
I wonder here, we've seen this at some points of, to us, it's hard to understand. And now you've been in drafts, so you certainly understand it. But from my vantage point, when a Pokemon's this weak, you probably think, oh, well, they've done their job. They got up the screens. They paralyzed the dog. Let's let them go. But if they're maybe anticipating on their side a switch, maybe they in their mind are thinking, okay, let's take out the Hatterene. We can hold on to it for now, and if at another point we just need to sacrifice something, it can be that sacrifice.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, we could be worried about them bringing something in to set up behind the Reflect. But seeing that light screen, yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking could be very possible there. I mean, if you're going to have the Light Clay, usually you have Reflect and Light Screen. Yeah. The thing that's actually really worrying here is I don't think any of our moves would kill, especially with the double screens up, and they could go for a Nuzzle, which would be really, really bad to get a third Pokemon paralyzed. So the U-turn makes perfect sense. Get back into something that's already paralyzed, and I think, unfortunately, to your previous point, which was not correct before, is now incredibly correct now. Yeah. We could see this thing saved for a later date, which isn't horrible if it's just death fodder, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. But there is the Nuzzle. And I think we do outspeed here, right, Tyler? I think we did see, even though we're paralyzed, we should outspeed.
Yes, we did. And okay. I wonder from Ben's side, because we heard a lot of prep, too, about this potentially being a Calm Mind Hatterene on the other side. I wonder if there's a thought there. Obviously, you run Calm Mind, you're going to have an attack with it, and that attack is probably not Nuzzle. So he might have thought, okay, we've seen 2 moves. And in his mind, I'm thinking Calm Mind and some other special attacking move could be Draining Kiss to bring some of that health back to such a bulky Pokemon anyway. So maybe in his mind he's thinking, okay, I've seen 2 of these, we've seen 1 screen, not thinking that they're going to bring the second one. And now we find out that this is a Hatterene that did not bring a single attacking move, unless you count Nuzzle, which really doesn't count.
Healing Wish there is so fascinating. Yeah, I mean, clearly this Pokemon, it's unfortunate to have this knowledge now. You know, obviously the coach did not know that in the moment. That Pokemon was destined to die. That was the game plan. So, you know, in all those opportunities, we were thinking maybe they're going to save it. Maybe they're going to try to bring something in to, you know, set up. Realistically, Hatterene is trying to go down so something else can get in a little bit quicker, which is also probably part of the reason Ben wanted to, you know, waste some of those turns, the Reflect, Light Screen, and get closer from going away. But with Healing Wish there, correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, the way that works now is Healing Wish will not be activated until it can be activated. So,
We've seen that before, yes, and we were caught very off guard by it, and it was a genius move.
So, Healing Wish is just now up until something that's weakened comes into the battle. Correct?
Yes, correct. And they then immediately bring in the Pokemon that might just seem like a small little turtle guy, but obviously it's a legendary, but also the type advantage is not a type advantage on this opening turn because of that ability that makes any move on that first turn not very effective.
Yeah, this is a really, really interesting spot. Obviously, Body Press is going to do a ridiculous amount to Crush over there. Love the nickname. But because we've gotten damage on this thing, it could be Healing Wished up. So everything we're going against right now is just waiting to be fully healed. And it's a really interesting spot to be in.
Even here, normally this would be 100% KO move on. Does this kill through Reflect?
No, it does not. But the Earth Power does not do a ton of damage. So that is really nice. I mean, that's an important thing. You know, we have some special defense investment on this Blossom. And we do have Healing Wish of our own. So as long as Blossom's sticking around, we can heal this thing up for the late game. Very interesting that both of these coaches having similar strategies there. Stealth Rocks are going to be a little worrying as we have two things. Paralyzed. Now every time we're switching in, more damage is taken away. But I actually really love how our coach has been able to get rid of a lot of the turns of Light Screen and Reflect. So far, the opponent has not been able to make use of them really at all outside of not losing the turtle, which, Tyler, I'm not really worried about the turtle long term.
I am, and I wonder if for that reason, and knowing, like you mentioned, that we have Healing Wish in our back pocket as well, if Ben doesn't just stay in here and try to take out the turtle.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're going to see. And as long as we don't get paralyzed, and we don't, that is a dead turtle, and it's not getting healed up. Some of that is very good. Some of that might be very bad, because there are still 3 Pokemon that I've been very worried about from the team matchup to the team preview till now. We haven't seen any of them hit the field, but it also means that none of those Pokemon are really going to be able to use Rip Bobby.
Now, can we just... was this necessary?
Don't listen to him.
What else are we gonna do against such a heinous name and a heinous Pokemon than bring in our bald warrior? Get him, Mickey.
Yeah, you've been mean to him this entire season.
We're turning it around.
It's time to shine.
Mickey, your legacy lives and dies off of this battle, this moment.
And actually, Ben talked about this moment. Foul play for this. Reflect goes down. We should be able to live a hit. And foul play will do a ridiculous amount to Rip Bobby. This is it. This is big. Come on. There it is. Okay, that's good damage. That's fantastic damage.
That's pretty good, Milkman Mick.
Oh, but wait. This is where that Pokemon was so dangerous this season. It has the ability to go for Trailblaze, which would then be +1 speed, potentially clean up the rest of the team. Obviously, we have Choice Scarf Darkrai. They don't know about that. But are they going to go for the kill here, or are they going to try to set up to really blow through the team? This is interesting. I have no idea what the damage calc is.
Ben EV'd for this.
Oh! There it is! Bold! Bold! Wow. Rip Bobby goes down, Tyler. I got excited. I think I talked over you a few times. I apologize.
I mean, Rip Bobby. This was Mikey's moment. You know what? I'm not even going to say Mickey. I'll call him Mike. You earned it, buddy. Buddy's a bold word. You, pal. acquaintance.
Yeah, I'm just putting the frogs on my shoulder, just feeling good about this moment. Oh God, they're falling. Oh God, I'm putting them back in front of me. Locking back in, because that right there is Dragapult. Dragapult is terrifying, but I love everything about what just happened there. No reason to overthink it. Force them to go for the U-turn, and now we get to see what they're bringing in, and we can bring in the appropriate Pokemon. This battle is so far from over, but we were able to get through the screens, and then we were able to get past Rip Bubby. Now, something to note, Tyler. I haven't seen Healing Wish go off yet.
That is correct.
I don't love that.
Worth noting for sure that we've still got ours. I mean, no one's has gone off.
Nope.
And now we see, to me, what was one of the more interesting storylines coming to the battle, seeing the clapped, good thing we didn't bring Sandy Cheeks to this battle, seeing clapped the Bisharp on the other side that has been said, this has been their playoff MVP so far this season. It's got the Eviolite, more than likely going to be their Terra captain, and if it is, we are probably going to find that out on this turn.
Yeah, but really excitingly, our coach did speed creep the Bisharp with the Breloom, so there's a really good chance we outspeed Breloom. With Eviolite, it's more often than not going to be a bulkier setup Pokemon. I do not love Terrafire, even though it's something Ben was expecting, but if we get outspeed, we're getting a ton of damage off, and we do! Wow, okay. I'm used to close combat, destroying Bisharp, but I will take that damage. That is, that's a worthy cause right there.
I will say very respectfully, Rip Bubby.
Now, unfortunately,
on our terms.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do have a Pokemon on the opponent's side that is very ready to take a Healing Wish and get back to full. And
yes.
I really don't like that. I really do not like how Bisharp looks against our team right now. Now, we would be able to kill with a Dark Pulse, but that Rotom's still at full HP because we got paralyzed, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, well, that's Rizzy. I've gone against a lot of Rotoms. They're very hard to two-shot, but no, they are very hard to two-shot. But we do know this thing is Choice Scarfed in, Tyler. That is really, really huge, and it limits what our opponent can do. Unfortunately, something is going to be able to be, well, not something. The Bisharp is going to be able to be healed up if they want to bring that in. But Rotom's at, now it's at two-shot range, and that is something to be happy about.
I'm intrigued to see what they do here, because there are two moves that I know Rotom for, and that right there was one of them. And is this when they pull the trigger on that Healing Wish? And bring back in a Bisharp that you normally, because of the typing, you don't think of it as a defensive Pokemon at all. But when you add on that Eviolite, you're talking 150 base defense and 105 special defense. And now it's back to full health with that Terra.
Yeah, and the thing that really worries me about this specific situation, Tyler, is the fact that it can go for the easiest Sword Stance of its life.
Yeah.
All right, this is a very interesting spot to be in. PM Fans is going to get paralyzed if we keep it in. The Fire is going to obliterate the dog. You do not bring Clefable in on Bisharp. It kind of feels like we have to bring in the Darkrai, but Tyler, I'm not sure if we could OHKO a Bisharp with Darkrai from this range.
No, again, we don't have the numbers right in front of us. That'd be your only chance because, again, with that Eviolite, physically, I mean, this thing becomes a monster defensively. Which, again, just I don't know that my brain knows how to wrap around describing Bisharp that way.
Okay, I think I was overthinking it because instead they're just both going to go for an attacking move.
All right. No, good, no switch.
Yeah, no, that.
And now we can kind of reset a little bit, and I see Ben giving the mustache a few strokes. I'm sure that he's trying to figure out, okay, what is not just the way out of this, but what is the win con to save and put this battle into a spot where it's winnable?
Yeah, I was so focused on like, oh, we're going to get paralyzed, of course. But the opponent couldn't just stay in and set up and just bank on that paralysis. That actually makes a lot of sense. And we're going to see the trick here, it looks like. And I actually really, really like that. Not only get rid of the Violite on Clapped over there, but now it's not going to be able to set up. Now, it is going to make it a lot more difficult for us to take on the Dragapult at the end of the game, Tyler, which is very scary. But at least it should make this specific situation a lot less scary. We live, and now it's locked into low kick. We can go into Clefable, and we can get a guaranteed Healing Wish off. That changes everything.
Yeah, I said that. I'm sure Ben's mind was okay, because there are two ways to look at it, and you could get stuck in the short term. How do I get out of this specific situation? But be the long-term thought, and that's why Ben is such a good coach, and it's what he's done here. Is what is the long term out of this to not only get out of the spot but preserve a chance to win? And now that opportunity is there, and we've mentioned it from the jump. The Healing Wish is the chance to do that with Blossom.
Okay, interesting to see the Rotom come in here. I actually don't know what to expect. Possibly like a trick to try to stop the Clefable. I don't think there's anything it could do to stop our Healing Wish, if that's what the coach wants to do here. Now, I think the worry would be Healing Wish and then Blossom once again being status. That could really mess everything up. But I mean, I think this is it. I think it's going to come down to Healing Wish, our #1 overall pick, a Pokemon that we were hopeful would lead us to great heights. A little bit of luck that didn't really matter. And now, Tyler, it comes down to Blossom, the dog. Championship. Oh my God.
It's in these moments, John. I quote my hero, who told me many times, never give up. Okay. We're in a spot. We have a chance. We've set up what we knew would be the condition to get back into this.
Yeah.
Now we just got to see how it plays out.
What I really dislike is paralysis prevented us from getting rid of this Rotom early. And now it's sitting in front of us. It's going to
This thing potentially should have been gone.
It's not. It's not Thunder Waving. It switched out. As we get the agility up. So we outspeed. Okay. The opponent could be cooking up something that ruins all of my hopes and dreams. But that is exhilarating, Tyler. I think Heavy Slam's a 2-hit KO.
Come on.
That's a 2-hit KO. He did talk about Hex. Now the question here is, can we live a Hex? Iron Defense up? No, Iron Defense isn't going to do anything with Heavy Slam. I think we would have to Heavy Slam twice and then crapola. It's definitely not over. It's going to be very difficult for the opponent to take down Blossom, but I feel like we're going to need to get an Iron Defense off so that we will be able to kill the Bisharp. There is always a chance of a crit too.
There is. Bennett said coming in, he anticipated there to be some kind of status on this Dragapult. The tough part is it's such a versatile Pokemon. You don't know which status it's going to be, or if this team, as a team, they brought every status pretty much.
They brought every status.
And it's then hard to bank on, okay, if it's going to be a Hex Dragapult, how much does it bank on having its own status if you know on the other side, well, I've got all these other Pokemon that can deal out status. I can just bring in Dragapult, and it can have more attacking moves. It's hard to know how to deal with that.
Come on, this is everything.
But certainly not done.
It's...
That hurt.
No, I think that's it. I think that's game. I think we weren't quick enough to pretend like there was hope, and then the hope was taken away very quickly. Yep, they make the very clean switch here. We will not kill, and we are now going to go down to burn, as they are going to be able to switch around, guarantee the loss with status, and then stealth rocks. And it really, at this point, for whatever it matters, it comes down to, will we get another kill? Will bodies...
We really hyped up differential all year.
You were big on that. It's bring. Oh gosh, I see the real blossom. That's making it much harder. That's really making this moment a lot tougher. Oh boy, that's real blossom. Oh, real blossom's very excited. Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
Not very Rizzy of you, Rotom.
No, well, Rotom won this battle in a lot of ways. Rotom it did exactly what it needed to do, and if I am correct, Darkrai is gonna die to the Stealth Rock, and that is gonna be GG to an opponent with an undefeated season, a successful undefeated season. And unfortunately, a destiny fulfilled, as I watch my team come in second in the fourth major championship battle. There was a championship that I did win, but Tyler, something I don't mention often, it was probably the weakest league I'd ever been a part of, so I did win. But a lot of second place trophies on the mantle. You know what? There's always room for one more. I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not sure if this battle or this video is the place for all of them, but 99% of them are simply, I am so incredibly proud of this season from just the beginning on. I love the draft. I was so excited about this team. It was so exciting to see how the season unfolded, and as soon as we hit a bump in the road, our coach was able to make the perfect changes. Change everything. We went on a tear to end the season, made it all the way to the championship. And if we're going to go out swinging, it's really special to go out with the Play More fans and Bubby on the squad. It is devastating with how the season has gone. When you see Thunderwave pop up, it is bad news bears. And it was really fantastic prep on the opponent's side. You know, they had a Choice Scarf Rotom and were able to get the Thunderwave off on Mousehold. That's just fantastic prep, and it worked out. This final team, it was pretty great across the board. A lot of status to slow us down, and then when the spots opened up, multiple Pokemon to set up and try to bring us down. Unfortunately, it worked. We fell a little bit short of the ultimate goal, but Tyler, this was still a really special season.
It was. There was a pretty big bump in the road where M&J TV was in the commentator booth, and then things really started to fall apart. But we really found our rhythm when we took him out of the booth and added him to the team, and he embraced his role as M&J TV, the Uxie Bald. And I think it's very fitting, looking at this last battle, to be able to say, yes, we came in second, but to have it come against an opponent that not just an undefeated season, but I think we fully agree on this, came with a great game plan, executed it to perfection, a very, very good team, obviously. And it's not a battle that you look back on. And obviously the Thunderwave played a massive role, but that's prep on their side to have that ready with the Choice Scarf. Obviously, there are percentages, there are odds. Sure, it could have missed. We could have broken through, whatever it may be. This is not a battle that we look back on and it's like, dang, the RNG just cost us this entirely. Sure, it might have gone differently, but it's great game planning on the side of the opponent. And for Play More, it's a season that went from, again, mid-season, it was dicey. There was a spot where all of a sudden we didn't know if Play More was going to make the playoffs. To go from that to making it all the way to the championship game, all sparked by a really, really smart mid-season move and just growing confidence from Ben throughout the season. It's tough that it does not end with a championship, but it's not fair to call this season anything but a success with the heights that we were able to reach.
Incredibly well said. I would love to go on for a while, but I think it's time we toss it over to our incredible coach, our fearless leader. Take it away, Ben Earl.
Well, we almost had it. It was still a really good season. I'm proud of how we played. It was a hiccup in semifinals, but I still think we earned our right to be there. I guess the summarization for the season kind of comes down to paralysis, but it is what it is. I'm not saying we won 100%. If we got the kill on that Rotom turn 1, however, it would have played a big role for sure. And the game would have been a little bit different. I mean, it would have been entirely different because it was turn 1. So I don't really know what I would have expected the following turns after taking out Rotom. I don't know what would have happened. He might have not even went Dragapult. I mean, probably, but I mean, I expected a lot of status going into this. Heck, I even expected Thunder Wave on Dragapult, but it went for a Will-O-Wisp, was better play. He didn't have both, but he could have. Really wish I hit that Pop Bomb. Thank God I didn't go for Bite against the Dragapult and got parried, because if I did, I'd be more upset, because then we'd have more HP in that final situation. I still don't think we won. Oh, no, we never won, because Darkrai died to Rocks, so never mind. In that situation, the Bite didn't matter, but killing Rotom, that probably mattered. Realistically, I don't know what I would expect. Maybe I should have just went into Mouse on Hat and not risk Zama and have two things parried, but I didn't think it was going to be that big of an issue. I was more focused on healing Zama than healing Mouse. So it's tough, man. Of course, I'm a little bit bummed, but it was a good game other than that one single turn. I mean, his team is just so good. And he's played well all season. I mean, he technically won the season undefeated. Every game he went into, he won, including finals. So his only losses being forfeits due to scheduling. So big kudos to Glass, man. He deserves it for this season. Very bummed. I really wanted to bring it home for you guys. I don't think I misplayed at any point. You can probably check the comment section to see whether or not I misplayed, because I'm going to be looking at this replay pretty religiously in a depressing manner. Still proud of myself, though, for making through here. But, I mean, at the same time, I have those expectations for myself, man. So I'll get you guys going in the future. But finals for now feels okay. Feels okay. So just need to find out if Tyler bet on the other guy or not. That would be a real deciding factor then of whether or not it was a rigged Bara, you know. But please, if you guys are still interested for more information on how the entire season went, my final takeaways on like the whole playoff situation, maybe even the final weeks if you want to get into that, please leave comments down below or let us know on Twitter or Blue Sky, as we still have a final press conference for you guys to go over the amazing season that we had here for Season 4. So I'm probably going to go cuddle Blossom a bit here and wipe my tears with Bubby. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching and it being just a phenomenal season. I had a lot of fun with this team. I'll talk about it a lot more on the press conference, and then I'll probably do a bit on my own channel as well for the team's performance. So yeah, that's be all from me, guys, for Season 4. Thank you.